special video for my best friend, Arath. I love you. Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy. So tonight, I would like to read 2 books. A very classic Christmas story and a newer Christmas story. Both are amazing. So first, how about let's read How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There he is. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in the Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming, I must find out some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise. Noise, noise, noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. Mary, play with all their toys. Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Little Maxie boy. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up," and the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Whos lay a snooze in their town. Oh no. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. So I've got some empty bags here. Poor little Maxie looks tired. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a big family. There's 9 stockings. 5 kiddos in this bed right here. Then he slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant, around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags, Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney. The naughty, naughty Grinch. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Naughty, naughty Grinch. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. Oh no, the beautiful tree. The beautiful, beautiful tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound, like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why?" Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? Looks like Gray wants to watch. But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie. Thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on the street that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Naughty, naughty Grinch. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses. Leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. Naughty Grinch, naughty, naughty, naughty. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze. When he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. "3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was Grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open, a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Look all the presents. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. There's little Cindy Lou Who. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The true meaning of Christmas is spreading love and cheer. And that is what I hope I can do for you tonight. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Okay. So, our last but not least book might be your favorite, your new favorite. Pete the Cat's 12 Groovy Days of Christmas. What a silly, silly cat, all wrapped up in the lights. Okay, I'm going to start by taking the sleeve off. first day of Christmas, Pete gave to me a road trip to the sea. Groovy. So it looks like this is the road trip van. On the second day of Christmas, Pete gave to me two fuzzy gloves and a road trip to the sea. Two fuzzy gloves. Groovy. On the third day of Christmas, Pete gave to me two, three. What do you think? What do you think? 3 yummy cupcakes. 1, 2, 3. That was a good guess, though. 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the fourth day of Christmas, Pete gave to me what do you think he gave little Froggy here? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think those are? 4 far out surfboards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 yummy cupcakes. 1, 2, 3. 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the fifth day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Day 5. 5 onion rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onion rings. 4 far out surfboards. 4 3 yummy cupcakes. 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. On the sixth day of Christmas, Pete gave to me. What do you think? 1, 6. It says skateboard hut. It's a sail. A sail at the skateboard hut. 6 skateboards rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 onion rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 surfboards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 yummy cupcakes. 1, 2, 3. 2 fuzzy gloves. 1, 2. And a road trip to the sea. On the seventh day of Christmas, Pete gave to me. 7th day. What do you think? What do you think it could be? 7 concert tickets. 6 skateboards rolling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 onion rings. 4 surfboards. 3 yummy cupcakes. And 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. And a road trip to the sea. On the 8th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me. Look at the kitty wrapping paper. It's so cute. 8 guitars strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Where's that guy? 7 concert tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. 5. 6 skateboards rolling. 5 onion rings. 4 surfboards. 3 yummy cupcakes. 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. On the 9th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 9 presents. 9 ugly sweaters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 guitar strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 concert tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 skateboards rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 onion rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 surfboards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 yummy cupcakes. 1, 2. Do you see the other cupcake? It's up here. 3. 2 fuzzy gloves. 1, 2. And a road trip to the sea. On the 10th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me. What do you think? What do we think? 10 sloths asleeping. 9 ugly sweaters. 8 guitar strumming. 7 concert tickets. 6 skateboards rolling. 5 onion rings. 4 far-out surfboards. 3 yummy cupcakes. 2 fuzzy gloves. And a road trip to the sea. Oh, we're leaving the snow behind and going to the beach. On the 11th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 11 balls of bouncing, 10 sloths asleeping, 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitars strumming, 7 guitars, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 4-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the 12th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 12 friends a rockin', 11 balls a bouncin', 10 sloths a sleepin', 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitars strummin', 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea.